It's in the little comment section. I don't see any.
Let's welcome.
Hello, everybody. We're so happy to have you all here with us. This is probably like our 7th show, I want to say, this season. We've been meeting every 2 weeks on Thursdays at 7, talking about topics that impact us in our communities. And so today's topic is actually a part 2 to 2 weeks ago that, Chris, we know you was on. So we're excited to, kind of support you, me and Rebecca, to support you in what was explored, and then touch on topics that maybe weren't about friends. Right? So what was that exact topic, AJ?
Oh, how many of us have them?
There we go. Good. Okay, that's what I was thinking. But I'm like, nah, am I thinking about the song? And so I'm like, nah. Okay, so it was.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
It's simple.
It is simple. And honestly, I could tell y'all, I used to think, man, how nice would it be to have, a close friend, a close-knit circle of, 10 to 20 friends. But how also unlikely is that? I started to realize that when people say that that's what they have, and they really dissect, if these are people that they can rely on, that they can turn to, that if they was doing wrong, that would correct them. I realized that they really don't have that many. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm let me not be envious, or let me not, I guess it's just you would love to be to others what you would love to have from others what you are
what
to
you give out.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's it.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's envy. It's nothing wrong with desiring to have something good. There's a difference between desiring to have something good and envy. Envy is like when I wish I was like somebody else. It's like that ties in with strife. I want what they got. I want to have what they have. It's not that you want what they have per se, is that you want to experience that same feeling. You want them to continue to have it.
That's
but
right.
You also would like to have that.
Right.
It's not envy at all.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, shouldn't be envy.
Right. No, she wants, what she was saying, that's not envy. That's what I'm saying. Now we ain't talking about other people. That's a whole nother
coveting,
a whole nother discussion.
Right.
That's when that envy comes in, and covetousness, like you said.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a whole different thing. But I want to ask y'all, I have a question for you ladies. Since you weren't here last week, my question for you is, what is a friend?
A friend?
Think about that.
What, Rebecca?
What is a friend?
So, we're going to start with the Bible, obviously.
Yes.
They say a friend, the Bible say a friend sticks closer than a brother.
Wow. Yes.
That goes back to what you were saying, Dr. Valentina, is, do you have people like that? Because people say that, like, that word friend is used so loosely.
Yes.
And we know that kids do it, but they're innocent. But even adults, we use that loosely. Like, oh, that's my friend. Is that really? Is he really a friend? Is she really a friend? Because a friend sticks closer than a brother.
Wow, that's the truth.
But what does that even look like? Like it's like, open that door up. What does that look like? What does it look like?
Let me throw some in there on what you just said, Sister Rebecca, because That's very true. Because the Bible even goes even further in John. And I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see this really well. But it's in John. But I need my glasses. I ain't have time to
That's
grab
all right. That's all
them.
right.
But the book says, greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend.
Come on.
Yeah.
So now who you know that's going to lay down their life for you?
Not too many people. He did it already. That's the only person I know.
Yeah. But some people would do that, right?
There is right? People.
There are some, but how many of us have them?
Right.
How many of us
and
have
you know what? And I appreciate you first of all asking a very important question of what's a friend, because I thought the same thing, Rebecca. Like, I'm going right to the Bible because I ain't got nothing to give you as an individual person, as somebody who once was dirt that still wash off dirt every time I bathe, right? But biblically, and that was Proverbs 18:24, Rebecca. And I'm gonna find the one that you mentioned, Chris, because I saw that earlier.
It's John. I think it's 15 to 30. I can see it when I keep my book a little further away from me. I can read it.
And it's real. And shout out to Sean Thomas and Stan. Hey, y'all. Y'all in the building.
Shout out to the husband.
Look at that. Deidre in the house from church. Yeah, so that's something that you was talking about, that you asked the question and that you was bringing up to me, the difference between what I want, which is a pure and honest, appropriate desire, and like envy or covetousness, because sometimes we mix stuff up. Like, we mix up aggression and assertiveness, which is, I'm sure, what people will do and call a friend, let me not take the quotes out. They'll call a real friend their enemy when they correct them on something because they don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Because they're mixing up assertiveness with aggression. And so it's the same thing. We're distinguishing assertiveness from aggression. We're going to do that today. We also going to distinguish, well, you already started that, Chris, with the enviousness and covetousness. But it's something, because I have that. I have the whole, to the most recent question, I think that Rebecca poses, how many of us really have a friend that'll lay down their life? I have one, actually. And that's why I need to be content wherewith I am in, right? The state that I'm in, because I don't have the 10 or the 20. Yeah, if I was to have some kind of vow renewal, I wouldn't be able to call 10 people. And you see what I'm saying? But the ones that I do have are for real, for real. And one of them is my husband. And I believe that what he said, he will really do. And that's lay down his life. So that was so beautiful to have read that scripture, Chris, as you was, supporting Rebecca's scripture, biblical definition of friend, because that's real. Like, that's a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
That is.
That's a blessing.
And that makes you better.
It's a blessing.
It is, because then I feel the same way. Like, I can't be, which is also scripture, better. Let somebody be better than me than I am to them. So me just even hearing that a person is willing to do that for me makes me want to do that for them. So now I can stand confident and say, I would do the same for him. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's something.
Well, let's put out, I want to hear, before you got into the good book, what you Eves was considering friends when you was all, just out there in your Sunday thumping school. Yeah. What was the friendship then? Because I hear a lot of y'all use that BBFF. Good.
Yeah.
BFF.
He said BBF. Brazilian butt.
It's confusing that with something else, AJ.
Yeah,
BBL. It's just BF and BF, not BBL. That's BBL.
Yeah. So I want to hear.
That's a whole nother thing.
A whole nother thing. Oops.
Yeah. Oh, we got Miss Margaret in the building.
I know we're going to hear something else.
Hi.
Hey. I know we're going to hear something else.
Hey.
So, yeah, I want to hear y'all. What was y'all, before you got to some word, what did y'all consider, and how good was it?
You know what? For me, it's kind of stayed that way for me throughout the years. Like, I have a small knit circle of people, but just to answer your question, Anthony, for me, it's people who I can confide in and who I have a good time with them. You know what I mean? That's really like how I look at it. Like I don't really look at it like, I know some people have friends because of status, and they have this, they have that, so they feel like we match statuses, so we obviously need to be friends. I don't, that's not my style.
So
But
you
it's
trying to tell me it stayed the same way? You still the same way?
pretty much. It's just the only difference is when I came into the word, I understand like that scripture about knowing, that it's more than just hanging out. It's more than just being able to have a good time with these people. It's deeper than that, which was what, Chris and Valentina was talking about. But I mean, just like on a regular basis, no, it hasn't changed for me. Like,
you almost sound perfect. Dr. V.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You too light.
That doesn't sound like perfection, because
No.
you are who you are. It's sometimes it's like the learning the word, it kind of gives you the why to the what.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, because for me, to me, a friend was, before getting into this word, a friend was somebody that I vibe with, and then somebody that I feel like I can trust.
Yeah.
Because you can't be friends with somebody that you always concerned with them stabbing you in the back, or always concerned with them doing something heinous against you.
Exactly.
So it's like, for me, I kind of found out the hard way. I ain't had too many friends. I was always the one that was trying to be there for people, always trying to be the one. If you need a ride, I got you. If you need money, I got you. If you need whatever, I got you, but wasn't getting that reciprocated. It was like, well, I got to reevaluate this whole friendship thing. Not that you can't be friends with people who can't offer you something, but just people who are earnest, like true, people that really have your best interests at heart, because that's what a friend is supposed to have. And honestly, that still lines up with the book. But you can't expect something that you're not willing to give. And the book, in so many words, says that as well. He who will have friends must show himself friendly. You got to be a friend to have a friend. So you can't expect for people to be going all out and doing everything for you and having your back, and being trustworthy, keeping things under wraps for you, protecting you, and then you're not protecting them.
Right.
It's a two-way.
That sounds good for you too. Dr. V, was that your same evaluation? Give me something real. I'm out here in these streets. I want to hear the real. We're going to get to you, Miss Margaret, because I know you got some Inglewood stuff.
Anthony looking for some drama.
Right.
That's all. He always trying to shake something up.
Looking for some drama. Yeah. So for me, it was anybody who see, I was real naive, and sometimes I still am, but I think that's really, I think it's really an innocence, like wanting to trust people, wanting to give people the benefit of the doubt. That's part of what attracted me to the field of psychology, is believing, that people want to self-actualize, to the greatest potential, be good. They go upward to the most high. That's like my natural, what I'm saying, like belief. But so really it was almost like how people think of it now, those in the world, like, anybody who will say that they're a friend, but they were really a bunch of acquaintances, right? Like it was just because like Chris getting that, I was just giving and giving, and people just take, like, it's just because I feel good giving. That's again why psychology made sense. It's like you feel good actually serving, because you're doing actually what you was meant to do. But when you realize that you're like, kind of like biblically what we learned about, I don't know, almost like giving to swine, casting your pearls
instead of swine.
Right? Absolutely. It's like, then you start, it's just like, dang, like you realize they're not doing nothing good with that. They don't appreciate it. So it was like that sort of secular definition of, just anybody who was just present. Like anybody could be a friend. Anybody could have an end. You know what I'm saying? And that was messed up, because that's part of why people. So that to me is a definition of love in essence, like being willing to, just accept where you are. But the problem is that they hate. I was loving people that hate. And I was loving people that love. It was, again, everybody. And that's messed up, because these are the same folks that, because they hate themselves, right? Biblically, we hear love yourself as you, what is it? Love your neighbors, you love yourself. But really,
love yourself.
but if a person don't love themselves,
they can't love you.
You see what I'm saying?
Very true.
Let's listen to the choir say, I want to hear from Inglewood. She's not in the Bible. Your friend.
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Okay. A friend. In your lifetime, sometimes you have very few friends. You know what? I have friends that I went to school with from grammar school. I'm saying 5th and 6th grade, most of them died within the last 5 years. Those were truly my friends.
Miss Margaret, we want to know, how did you evaluate to have them as a friend?
To have them as a friend? Okay, now I'm not. I don't trust people that come into my life, into my circle, and without. I observe people. I don't trust people that easily. So,
Dr. P, but you see how she not evaluating the same way? See, it sounds like some mess in there. I don't know.
No, but it's hard to get friends nowadays that truly want to be your friends without having the agenda. I've had people that I've met in the last couple of years, but it's always drama. I'm not about drama.
That's
and
maybe what you picking up, AJ.
So what she's saying is not about mess, it's about wisdom. Because you learn throughout the years, you learn through your experiences how to interact with people, and that doesn't necessarily mean that, everybody that comes in your circle automatically you're going to distrust them. Because I'm the same way as Miss Margaret, but I don't distrust people when they first come into my circle. I will give you the benefit of the doubt and allow you to show me who you are. Because even if somebody, and another thing, even if somebody comes to me and tells me something about you, I'm not going to judge you based off what they told me about you, because I don't know you like that.
That's a blessing.
I'm not going to allow somebody else to manipulate me like that and have me thinking certain things about you, and I don't even know you. So while I heard what they said, I'm gonna watch and evaluate how you interact with me and how you interact with others, and that's how I'll determine what type of person you are, and determine if you're a good friend. How do you behave? Especially, I'm big on how people behave when we have a disagreement.
To
me, that really shows me. That really shows me where we stand. If you're a friend or if you're a foe. I know how you are based off how you are with me when we have a disagreement. Can you disagree with me in love? And you can still be heated and we can have an argument, we can go for it, whatever, but then you're still showing me love. You're still, you're not showing hate for me. You're not treating me wrong, or you're not trying to harm me. It's a difference. So you pick up on all these signs, like Miss Margaret, like what you were saying. You pick up on this. It's wisdom. Throughout the years, you've learned from interacting with people how you need to handle interacting with new people. You don't have to go through those same pitfalls that you've gone through with previous people.
And you know what? I feel like what I was hearing too, because it's not a but. And I almost heard that the culture now is different than what it was before. Like, people value friendship. People was more in the word. People, respected one another. There was just like order and and now it's like the people it was collectivistic, group minded, and now it's very individualistic. It's everybody for themselves. It's a selfish culture, and so it's like what I was hearing you say is people are sometimes coming into your life with an agenda, with the desire to get something from you, and that's bogus.
And that happens.
That's messed up. But it does happen. And not just,
Yeah.
at the adult level. It happens even in elementary school. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Dr. P, using your DSM-3, DSM-4,
Yeah, 5. We on
DSM-5.
5.
Yeah, okay. How does that play in other than the Bible? What the DSM say about all that?
Well, it honestly, it would say really what the Bible says too, because that's where they get their inspiration from, whether they
What?
acknowledge it or not. And that is that people are, they've the trauma that they experience help make sense of why they are the way they are. We help formulate them during them critical, sensitive brain development periods, and so they develop now this anxiety and this depression. You know, as it relates to their self-image and what they think they're worth, as it relates to just a human person and what humans are worth. This belief that, like, I mean, think about how stressful and anxiety provoking it is to think that people don't want you for who you are because of what you was taught at home, that you're nothing, that don't nobody want you, that people are selfish, that people are out to get you, don't trust nobody. That's why I appreciate what you said, Chris, because it's like teachers. Like, I hate when teachers start you off with an F and you got to work your way up to a A. It's what you said is, you as a teacher start off your students with an A, and they
With the
have to
A,
prove
absolutely.
themselves
Worthy of that A, worthy of keeping that A.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So I think it's true mental illness, because it takes a lot of, and obviously that goes with spiritual illness, clearly, right? We talked about that in our first couple shows when we was getting at the state of the community, mental health and love, and it's that people don't love themselves because they dealt with parents that didn't love themselves or didn't love them. And so it resulted in them having this nasty, because attitude and
Absolutely.
right, attachment to people. Yeah. And I see we got
And
some
you know
good
what?
scriptures.
Something else you said, Dr. Valentina, I just wanted to point out, the tide can change so fast.
Yes.
So you can start off and you homies, you best friends, and all of a sudden,
Yep.
the tide just changed.
Wow.
And what changed? Like you just said, you never know what's going on through a person's mind. You may really think that you're friends. You may really be vibing and really feeling like, and all the while, this person is struggling with some envy, or struggling with some, they may see something they feel like you have that they don't have, or they feel like you blessed in a way that they're not blessed, or you got somewhere that they wanted to get, or you never know. You never know what it is, and next thing you know, the whole tide has just changed on you, and you don't even know what happened.
Wow.
You still trying to figure out what has happened.
No, that's real. I had a client actually, and literally what you're describing, her prayer was that, and it's the thing, we don't be knowing what we be praying for necessarily, right? So her prayer was that the Most High would remove everybody in her life that wasn't for her, not realizing that her best friend was going to be one of them people. And so it really hurt her feelings. But as we was working it out through therapy, she was talking through what she was going through with this best friend. I was like, see, that's the thing. Y'all so caught up in like my sister, cousin, or my friend from another mother, or or blood is thicker than water, which I don't remember reading that anywhere in the Bible. That's clearly man culture's doctrine. And yet, because you're so tied to this belief system that didn't come from the word, it's like you stuck, you wrestling with how do I handle this? What does this mean? Is this sort of like in marriage for thickness, or right, thickness and health and death doers, right? They kind of want to do that with a friend because they stuck on blood is thicker. And it's like, what is physically the matter, right? Of blood being thicker than actual water have anything to do with people? What does it have because if remember what we heard in church, right, on Saturday, that we all come from the same one man and woman. So technically, so you see how it don't even make sense. But if the people aren't starting from a biblical true standpoint, they're gonna draft up all type of stuff that sounds good, but it's really foolish.
Absolutely.
Dr. B, what was not, because that's your patient, what was, speaking in just a little term, what was her evaluation to make that person her best friend?
Oh, just literally coming up with her. You know how we all look. Like I said, like I really wanted
The
somebody
come
that,
up.
people talk, oh, they've been my friend since
We've
kindergarten. So
been
that was
knowing
literally her friend from the neighborhood. They happen to then go to the same school. So now it's like, this is my sister. They made like this. My client is 35 years old. You see what I'm saying? She grown. You know what I'm saying? So since 5 to 35, they done made it through 3 decades together. That's
mm,
family to her. And so
mm,
that was her definition of, okay, that's this to my criteria. But she all along, she just stuff. It's like every session, some about this girl, this friend, and then she makes this prayer, tells me about this prayer, and I have to make the connection because that's all we are as psychologists, is just translators, interpreters, dot connectors. Because even in relationships, whether it's parent child or man woman, we are
mm.
constant man wife, we are constantly interpreting for her what he's saying that she can't
Trying to
seem to
say.
hear, and vice
Mm.
versa. Or if it's friends, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. She made that evaluation that this is her friend based off time, which is what we all want to do in essence, right? Like to be able to say, meets me. I wanted to be like, wow, like I think that's so cool when somebody says, my best friend since kindergarten. Like I don't have that. I do not have that. I don't even know what, and not that they not right. It's just that I don't even. How do these people keep in touch? We didn't even have cell phones like that. I don't even get it. Like, how did they do this? That's a blessing.
Yeah.
Except in her case.
Well, the
Except in
time
her
is
case.
getting
You grow up in the same community. I mean, you went to school together. So
see, there we go.
That's a good
There
point.
we
You don't
go.
leave the community necessarily, then boom, now y'all or Facebook actually. Facebook has been keeping a
Well,
lot of
right.
people
Dr.
connected.
B, the time is getting short and you about to drop off. So give us some closing that we can put the DSM and the Bible together.
Man, so this is something right here that I want to give y'all. Where are you? It's Job. Here we go. So let's look at Job 42 and 10, because this is gonna be the ultimate connector.
Mm.
Job 42 and 10. Okay. It says, after Job had prayed for his friends, the Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before. I had no idea that that's when his breakthrough came. It's basically like the Messiah, right? When he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not
For
what
they
they
know
do.
what they do.
Right? Like, and this is why he tells us to pray for those. I mean,
Who hurt
right?
her?
This is why we need to pray for those who who
Despitefully
who
use us.
come on, thank you. Because I was
Mhm.
about, right? Like we
I
have to
haven't
pray
grown to
for
that
them.
level yet,
For
but
our but think about it. It's like forgiveness. People thinking that
trying.
forgiving means somehow forgetting, when it doesn't. It's forgiveness is for you. So
Right.
you can have peace. So you can
Mm.
move on and not have to sit in therapy with me weekly for a year. You
Right,
see what I'm
right,
saying? Like,
right.
and that's what I just got this. Like, this is a trip, you know? And
Mhm.
so when you do stuff that is contrary to what you've been taught, see, that's the thing. We've been taught by the earth. We in the world, but not of it yet. We've been marinating in this crap. We've been marinating in the same stew. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mhm.
when you do the opposite of what you was taught, which feels very contraindicated, it feels very uncomfortable and nonsensical, right? Right?
Mhm.
It frees you from the trauma, the depression, the anxiety, because anxiety, stress, it's lies, it's heartache, it's
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Do you
Yeah.
know how stressful that must be to think that people aren't really here for you? That's why, again, I appreciate what you said, Chris. You start everybody off with an A.
Right.
That's how we supposed to do. Because when you don't, basically you living in your trauma, you living in a lie that you've been told. And that only hurts you.
That's deep.
And what sucks
Absolutely.
is actually it doesn't just hurt you, it hurts your children. It hurts your
Hurts
husband.
everybody around you.
Come
Around
on.
they affected by it.
Everybody you come in contact with.
And isn't that terrible? Because you're supposed to be
It
protecting
really
people.
is.
You're supposed to be helping the people you love.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Absolutely.
That's why that forgiveness is. Yeah, I'm glad you said that
I
forgiveness.
was gonna say,
That's deep.
just think about the Lord's Prayer. When
Yes.
I'm telling you, when that line, and forgive us
Our
our
debt.
debts or our sins, as
Yes.
We
we
forgive
forgive
our
those that sin
debtors.
against us, my mind went boom. It was like, you mean to tell me the Lord gonna forgive us the way we forgive other
Oh,
people?
wait. That's
And
scary.
you
That's
holding
scary.
on to stuff?
That's scary.
That is terrifying to me. I'm like, I'm not holding on to nothing. I'm letting all this stuff go. You cannot even apologize. I'm still letting it go. Because I already know the Lord gonna forgive me the way I forgive other people. Maybe I forgot to ask the Lord to forgive me for something. So if that's the case, then the Lord gonna forgive me for what I forgot to ask him for. Because I'm forgiving other people for stuff they ain't even asked me to forgive me.
Wow. Wow, that's a blessing, and you're right. We got to get there, because I say I'm in between y'all. Then, like you know, but I'm gonna just say this. You know, one thing I do in my prayer, in that same prayer, and I don't know if it's okay. I know you're not supposed to add to the word, but I don't know that I'm necessarily adding to it, because I'm not trying to give an interpretation. It's me, like, also praying in that, and so. Like when I say that, so I say, so forgive us for our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And then, because I too caught that, Chris, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, what? Because see, I've been saying this prayer since I was little. I didn't know what I was saying. I was just repeating what my mama and daddy taught me, right? So when I came to, oh no, like a couple years ago, okay, like my children were born and they're just 9 and 7. Then I was like, whoa, I'm gonna have to add something. So then I said, and help us to forgive those who trespass against us with speed, ease, and sincerity. So I've been adding that, and I hope that's okay. But I've been doing that because I need that. I need help. You see what I'm saying? To be able to do that, because I do not want to be forgiven the way, like, I've forgiven people.
Yeah.
Right? Or the lack of forgiveness, or holding stuff on. And you see what I'm saying? This is serious. And this is the kind of stuff that like we need. And I be praying, like, when I get corrected by people, I'm like, you know, whether it's spouse or friends or whomever, like, you know, I like the ability to hear them, because that's a real friend. A friend will hear it. Or even if I just don't even want to give people a hard time. But it's like, even if I do, then it's like, come back. Be willing to come back. Because a friend, a person who appreciates a friend, want to hear and be corrected. They want to be right, because they don't want to suffer for their consequences.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And a real friend is going to correct you in love and righteousness.
That's good.
They're not trying to put you out there.
Right.
They're not trying to embarrass you and make you feel bad about yourself. They're trying to correct you so you can do better for yourself, so you don't fall into the same pitfalls that you've been falling into, or so you don't go out there and embarrass yourself. Or so, you know what I'm saying? That's what a real friend is going to do. So even just the discernment of being able to see where a person is coming from when they do correct you. Right. You know, are they like in front of everybody trying to rebuke you and, you know, make you feel bad? Or do they pull you to the side and they like, look, you know, let me talk to you about this. Let me bring this to your attention, because maybe you didn't notice. Yeah. You know, it's a difference. Yeah. And like you said, you know, that's a humility that you show, and being able to receive that and receiving the love, and not be who they think they are, who she is talking to me, telling me, you know.
And there's scriptures on that too that talk about that, like that you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be rejecting a person. That's why they say, like, be careful with the company you keep. That comes from the scriptures. That comes from the scriptures.
Birds with feather.
But right, birds with feather flock together. That's right. All right, my good people. I love y'all. I'm looking forward to the next one in 2 weeks. And we're going to get our topic. Y'all let me know. We get our topic together. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. See you, Dr. Valentina.
All right.
All right.
And Sister Rebecca, you look like you had something you were saying.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you, Chris, and actually, AJ, since you're on here, I've heard, or I've experienced, sometimes people automatically think that friends, the best of them is the same female and female, and man and man. Me personally, I really think that having friendship with males are a lot smoother than, you know, I'm not saying that it's impossible with females or anything of that sort, but I think it's interesting when a man and a woman can be friends without, you know, anything extra going on. And it's a lot smoother. So give me your opinion on that, AJ.
Well, Boy, I had a video that Deron couldn't put up. It was with your guy show, the host, the comedian. He said we can never be your true friend because we
I know.
all trying. But
I know what you're talking about too.
Yeah. But that's why I always put out, I'm a constituent. I'm a constituent. But I do stuff just like a great friend, but I don't want no titles.
Okay.
Just like when I was a cop, I used to ride in the cars. If I had to ride with a woman cop, hey, I treat her just like I'm talking to the male. So nobody can say, oh, I can't ride with that guy. He's something else. That was my thing. And I was a nerd and I never thought I was a cool guy that I could just do, what I wanted to do. But I saw that. It can be, but it's going to be hard. But I got something.
It's different. Yeah. I'm not saying
and I had to go talk to the man in the book because I keep that devil on my shoulder sometime. I'm passing popcorn out. So, hey.
Okay. So I got so you saying you can do it, but it's
doing it.
It's not easy though. It's true. It's not like it's
not
common.
easy when you get real close. If you stay out, it's good. But when you get them common little close stuff, it
kind of crosses over. Yeah, I hear you.
Man, yeah.
Chris, what's your take on that?
So in the last show, I was saying how, when I was coming up, I did not have many female friends.
Yeah.
And the reason I didn't have many female friends was because it was always mess. Somebody always thought you was trying to steal a boyfriend. It was always it was always just craziness. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't gossip. I don't do nothing. I never been that person.
Yeah.
So I never wanted to be involved in that. And I always had a bunch of male friends. Now, to speak to what AJ said, at some point, a lot of them did like me, but I let them know it ain't that. This is not that.
Right.
We friends, that's it. And you know what? They respected me and they treated me like a friend. They talked to me like a friend. They never crossed lines with me because they already knew I wasn't going for it.
And that's why I'm glad you said that. I'm real glad you said that because once you let that be known, that's not you not on that. That's some of the best friendships.
Absolutely.
That's why I say, and it's just so much easier not to down anything with women. It kind of goes into what you were saying. Is you get that that messiness, that jealousy about something. You don't even know what it is. They just jealous about something. It could be anything. But with men, I found it to be a lot more smoother because once all of that, we can say we're adults, sexual tension is out the door and it's clear that ain't finna be none of that. Y'all are some of the best friends. Because you're not envious. You don't have those envious things that you are dealing with. It's like y'all cool. We chilling. That's it. Ain't no power struggle going on no more.
There's no rivalry going
tell
on.
You about your bad
there's no trying to outdo. You're not coming in trying to outdo
me. Right.
You don't have to have longer hair than me. You don't have to have a prettier this or a better that or whatever. And see, that's the thing. I think that's the thing that corrupts friendships.
Yeah,
is people competing with each other. You can't have a friend if you're trying to compete with them.
Exactly.
You can't be friends with people that you're trying to compete with. I have female friends. And actually, I didn't get these female friends until I got grown, like recently grown in the word in church. That's when I got my female friends. But I'm not envious of my friends. I'm not jealous of my friends. I got some beautiful friends. I'm not trying to be prettier than them, trying to have more. They're trying to look like this or what. If they got something I like, I'm gonna be like, girl, where you get that from?
Right.
But I'm not trying to outdo them. I'm letting them know, hey, I love what you got.
Exactly.
I'm interested in seeing how I can get this. I'm not trying to like sneak behind their back and try to outdo them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I
Exactly. And
think that's the thing that poisons relationships is trying to um outdo,
yeah,
or
outdo the other
just
one.
be in a competition with your
And it's not that
friends.
deep. It's not that deep, and that's
It's not.
it's just, yeah, and that's what a lot of that goes on in female friendships. It just goes on a lot. I don't see that in man and woman friendships, strictly friendship.
Yeah.
So how
Strictly
are
friendship.
you
Yeah.
gonna tell them to get past that then? What are you gonna tell them what to do? How you
Huh?
gonna tell them what to fix and how to fix it?
What you mean?
How can they
Like
fix
Sister
that and
Valentina said,
how can they get
that's
like
an
that
internal thing. It's
other
an
than having
internal
the
thing.
messy stuff? How they gonna get past the messy stuff? How do they fix it?
Easily, you gotta learn how to love yourself. You gotta
That's
learn how
it.
to respect yourself. You can't love somebody else and you don't love yourself. You can't respect somebody else and you don't respect yourself. If you don't feel comfortable with yourself, then everybody around you is gonna make you feel uncomfortable. Because every time they get something, every time they do something, or
You
they
gonna
get a
be
house,
feeling
now
some
you
kind of
jealous
way.
because you don't have a house. They get a new car, now you jealous because they got a new car. My one of my homies got a nice truck. I said, "Oh, when I'm riding I'm not gonna say her name, but when I'm riding your mobile, because I'm happy for her. I'm happy. It don't bother me when my friends get stuff. I'm excited for them, and I'm excited for what it means for me because my homie got this. So I get
Right.
to ride with my homie sometime or whatever. It's all in the matter of the way you look at things.
Right.
How you think, your perspective of life. You can't change that for anybody else. They got
No,
to change that for
they got
themselves.
to. They got to. And if they don't, they're just gonna, like she said, that's when the friendship kind of it gets messed up, because you can pick up on those vibes. That's when that whole I'm making a joke, but I'm playing, but you're not really playing.
Laugh but
It's
serious.
yeah, all that crap. It's just so.
Mm-hmm.
But
So what's your
I'm like that.
thought, Margaret? What's your thought? You
Oh,
looking?
okay. It's
Yeah,
like,
You look.
where do you find these type of friends at? Because I don't I don't have people like that in my life
Well,
Mm.
maybe
as
you need to get
friends.
out. Maybe you need to get out a little more. That
Maybe
would
maybe
help.
I maybe I maybe I do.
Mm.
But the people that I be around, it's not, never had this conversation of being jealous of no one or what they have. Now, like I said, my friends since fifth and sixth grade, within the last 5 years, all three of them have passed. Those were truly friends that we didn't argue, we didn't curse at each other. We may have disagreements, but that was it. It never went no farther than the time that it was said. It
That's
didn't go on till the next day, the next day, the next
Mm-hmm.
week.
Well,
So,
it sounds like
but the
you ain't gonna have
people,
no more friends then. You ain't got no more friends now? Your life is done?
I have, I'm gonna be like you. I have associates that I worked with. They're not considered my friends, but we still communicate with each other
I wish they
and
was on
stuff.
the show. I'd like to hear that. Mm.
You wish what?
I wish they was on the
He's just
show.
being messy, Miss Margaret.
Yeah, just he wants
Just
some
being
mess.
messy.
He being silly.
Mm. Hey, but you know
But
what?
but I do talk to people, and stuff, and give you everybody the benefit of the doubt, and stuff.
Mhm.
But sometime in conversation, just being out and meeting somebody for the first, second, and third time, if I hear click in my ear, okay, I'm getting ready to bag up off this person, and stuff, because I don't know where she going, but I'm not into that type of mess and drama.
Well, Chris and Rebecca, do you think that's just coming because of her group where she came from? She not coming from y'all. Y'all think it was like that
That's
because her group? If she
that
was with
sounds like
y'all,
discernment. It sounds like discernment. She's learned how to discern a person's character based off of their actions. That's wisdom. You
Mm-hmm.
learn how to discern what a person is about based off of how they interact with you, the things that they say, the little subtle nuances. You know, it took me
You
it
said you
took
made
me
you made
years
that
to,
perfect.
well, praise God. It took me
Okay.
years to understand certain things. Like, I had people that I thought were friends, and they would just talk. They talked about this and they talked about that. I was talking about something. I was talking about somebody, but I never thought they were talking about me. You
Mm.
know, but then you have to consider,
Oh,
if a
Yeah.
dog will carry a bone,
yes.
he'll bring the bone back. He's
Exactly.
gonna carry it
Right.
too. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Definitely
So
talking.
absolutely, I started seeing certain things. I'll never forget, my daughter got into it with a boy from her school, and he said something to my daughter. That's why my mother said your mother is a blankety blank, whatever he said.
Oh.
So
Mm.
Mm.
I was like, and she actually worked at the school with my kids. So she was like a assistant teacher, like a teacher's assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I was furious when I heard it, but I was like, I said, Lord, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm praying that you just give me the perfect opportunity. Give me the perfect opportunity to say something about this. Like, I wanted to say it in a righteous way. I didn't want to, go up there acting a fool, cursing out or whatever. So I got a call requesting me to come up to the school so we could discuss what my daughter has said to uh, her son. I
Mm.
said, thank you, Lord. I was like, thank you.
There
Just
you
gave
go.
her to me on a silver platter.
There
So
you
we
go.
come, I'm sitting down, and she says, well, hi, I just wanted to discuss and this and this. And she said what she said. I said, would that be after your son told my daughter that you called me what she called me? She would have thought she was choking on a chicken bone. I mean, and I didn't have any
He
angst. I
wasn't
mean,
ready.
I wasn't disrespectful at all. I just put it out there. Was that when she? Oh, well, and then it was, well, people just trying to come between us, because they see we friends, and I'm just thinking to myself, when we ever, when we friends, when we ever been friends? I don't. But
Hmm.
this is the whole. You see the whole shift. Now that
Yeah.
your words have caught up with you, now that your actions have caught up with you, now you realize you fighting for your job. Because I had the ability at this point to snatch this woman's job away from her. She's literally talking about parents in
Mm.
front of
In
children.
front of
You see what I'm
children.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
That's terrible.
amazing how the Lord can flip a whole situation around. When I tell you I've had people's lives in my hands so many times, and I chose not to do whatever I could to snatch it away from them. I would like to believe, I pray, that the Lord
Hmm.
sees that and that He counts it, you know, counts
Mm.
it for me.
Right.
But you never, you never realize what a person is saying behind your back. You never really know. And
Mm.
then it comes
True.
back to you.
True.
You find out the people are really not your friends. They've
Mm-mm.
been saying all
Yeah.
this stuff about you. They've been doing all this.
Mhm.
And the funny thing is, it'll be people that you've done nothing
Nothing
harmful to,
to.
nothing wrong.
Nothing to.
You just been trying to be there for these people, trying to help, trying to, volunteer, whatever they need. You trying to, and they talking about you like a dog.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes back to what do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about yourself?
Mm-hmm. That's what.
Clearly, you're not happy with yourself.
Mm-hmm. And that's
Well, hey,
what.
let's shout out to the people of Facebook, YouTube. Hey, glad you guys watching. Now, Chris, Adrian, Miss Margaret, don't want to put you out there. You a grandmama, great grandmama. You all are parents. What do you tell the son and what do you tell the daughter about friendship? Or do you do the same one speech, cover it all?
Me
Uh.
personally,
Okay, but
it's, it's the same information for me personally. Um, Obviously, I do know that it seems that females move differently from males, but it really is not true. People think that females are more conniving and but honestly males are too. They just a little more sneaky with theirs. Like the way women the way we think, it's like women are a little bit more calculated. Men are not as calculated as men, but they are calculated. They do the same things. So I do tell my sons the same thing that I tell my daughters. And it's the same thing because my daughters have to interact with women, but they also have to interact with men. Same thing with my sons. They interact with men, but they also interact with women. So they have to be equipped for both sides.
Is that what you go on, Rebecca? You seem like you had nothing else to throw at the ball, huh?
Yeah, I mean, well, I only have a daughter, so I just
okay.
feel,
I
yeah.
didn't. Yeah,
But
okay.
for her, it's the same thing. That Chris said. It's just, she's only 11, but still, kids these days can do cruel things even at that age. So I just tell her that, your friends is someone who will treat you how you want to be treated. At the end of the day, I just keep it basic like that.
Now, do we, as this parent, do you get in there try to control how they come to have friends?
No.
No.
No, not control, but I do not oversee, but I am
supervise.
No, not well.
Not
No,
supervised.
She guides. As a parent, you guide.
Right,
You're a
exactly.
guide.
I'm aware of what's
You
going
don't
on.
force the issue. You don't try to control anything. You just try to be there to guide them when they need assistance, because kids will push back. They will push back. They're not always trying to receive the information that you have for them. Sometimes it takes them to get some lumps and bumps before they realize you actually know what you're talking about. It's like then they'll come to you like, Mom, what you think about whatever. They'll start asking for your opinion. I personally always try to make it a point not to be in my kids' business like that, not to be trying to run them, control them, tell them what they could do, who they could be with, who they can't be with. I stay out of that. Now, if you ask me, I'll give you my advice, but I'm not going to just, throw it out there and, well, you shouldn't be with this person and you don't need, that doesn't work well for anybody. But one thing you said, Rebecca, I do want to bounce off of one thing that you said, because it's not, what I come to find out, it is not just kids that are cruel, it's adults that are cruel to kids as well.
That's true.
I found that out the hard way. So, I have many children, and my daughters especially, my daughters have really, really long hair. They're pretty girls. I already knew what they were going to be dealing with, so I tried to raise them, to understand the certain things that they were going to deal with, but I didn't even understand fully what they would be dealing with. When my daughter grew up, she began to tell me about things that teachers would say to her. I know I actually had to go up to the school to get one teacher removed from a school because of something that they said to one of my daughters. One of my daughters is very light-skinned. So this teacher just proceeded to tell her, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Meaning, she was discriminated against her because she was very light-skinned.
Right.
And, my daughter was going through a lot because she was super light. Everybody else was brown-skinned or dark-skinned, but she was really, really light-skinned. So she got picked on a lot for her color. And then she had really long hair. My other daughter has very long hair. When she was 4 years old, her hair came down to her behind. So she had really long hair. So you had teachers saying little things to them. Such and such's hair is longer than your hair, and stuff like. Why would you tell a child? Why are you, stuff like that? Just trying to make her feel bad about herself. It was a lot of stuff like that, and I'm just like, why didn't you tell me that? But obviously, there's nothing I could do about it now. But kids, they internalize a lot because people that they trust, they trust. Teachers should be friends too. Teachers should be people that they could trust. And then those people are also not trustworthy. So you have to be careful. Whoever comes in contact with you, whoever comes in contact with your children, you have to be really careful.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's true because I went through that with my daughter in grammar school where I had to get the police involved with
Mm.
the teacher and the girls and the parents.
Mm.
Oh my goodness,
You
that's
know,
terrible.
jumped on her. You know, pulling her hair, trying to pull her hair out. Where and clothes. People coming to the house, the neighbors. Miss Leach, those girls they jumped on Kim. They jumping on Kim. And stuff and everything. But that's terrible. Then the kids can be so jealous.
It's terrible. The kids and adults can. How
And
are you gonna
they're
be
being
jealous
taught
of
that.
a child? How is an adult jealous of a child?
And the teacher too.
This child is in preschool, and you're jealous of a child.
Child, right?
And then you're trying to pit one child against another child. It's just apprehensible. I wish I would have known what was going on back then. But these are the things that our kids are dealing with. You have to be really careful with your children. Even at a young age, you have to be really careful.
Wow. Well, hey, Mr. Ronnie Nelson wanted to know, well, how are men more sneaky than women and in their conniving ways if women are more calculated in their ways? Well, I think when we were talking about most of his perception as how we all grew up and say, it's not, it's the Bible says men are this, it's a perception. So, but we know, we see it here and there. So, no, Mr. Ronnie Nelson, we don't want to say the Bible say men are more conniving or women. We just a perception, having a discussion. So we don't want.
I'm gonna speak to that too because I think he was going off of my statement.
Right.
So I think he misunderstood what I was saying. I wasn't saying that men are more sneaky or conniving than women. That wasn't what I was saying at all. I did say that I believe that women are a little bit more calculated in the way that they go about doing things, but I said men can also be sneaky and calculated. That's what I said. It wasn't, and by far, I'm not trying to compare one with the other because it's all about personalities. It's not, you can't say, well, this group of people does this and this.
Because wait a minute, because if we want to go start something, we could go back to the Eden. We know Eve. You know what happened, and we not trying.
Here we go.
We not trying to throw you under the bus.
That tale as old as time argument.
If Adam would have stood on his like he should have.
That's that. See, there we go.
That's trying to start
that one go. If Adam would have just stood
on
like he should have,
we're gonna have to do another show just to talk about that topic.
Absolutely, Ronnie.
I ain't
who dropped the ball. That's the next show. Who dropped the ball?
Who dropped the ball? I nominate AJ.
Hey, I'm just the guy.
Don't y'all make me come on here and start acting on food now.
I'm just a constituent.
No, we don't want that.
Because look, I'm over here bubbling. Man, y'all hit on so many topics, and I know we almost got to get off, but I mean, wow, this is going all over the place with the truth. Yeah, I mean, it's a good way, but like I'm like Mr. Ronnie Nelson, if that was his name, and then what he's saying, like, it can really turn into a male-female thing. I know we're not saying it, but we got to have some truth and have some talking about those topics, because like what Rebecca said about that male friends and all that stuff, I cannot stand that. I've always had, the dated women and they had best friend that was mean, and you find out years later that they used to go together, and because they know each other the best since kids, all of that crap, so it's just a lot to talk about. So I'm up for that conversation that y'all had.
You've been scorned, Duran. You've been scorned.
Well, I've been scorned, but I also had it when it was the other way too. I've been that friend. So I know the sneakiness out of it.
Get out of the friend zone.
Right. But see, listen, when you said what you said about having God in there, none of us really know how to be friends really without that. Because when you was talking, I looked up hell have no fury like the woman scorned. That's not even in the Bible.
It is not.
No, it's not in the Bible. So I was looking, I said, wait a minute. Why do we got that statement and we be scared to piss a woman off because she gonna burn that car up and scratch the car and do all these type of things? Because that statement.
But see, here's the funny thing. Because we look at it like that, but then you watch, like, I was not feeling well yesterday, so I had a lot of TV time. I was watching true crime, and I was looking at a story of a man who was married to a woman, and he shot and killed her. And there's a whole lot of that happening. And the reason why he shot her is because he wanted her. He wasn't treating her right. He was abusing her. She was trying to get away. And then, it was that situation where if I can't have her, nobody can have her. So the thing about it is, when we get caught up into this, men do this and women do this, that's where our focus gets taken off of the word of God. That's where all that gets taken off. We got to stay focused on the word of God. What does the Lord say? How does the Lord say we're supposed to treat each other? Because that's unisex. It doesn't apply to, you have to treat the men this way and then you treat the women this way. No, it's all the same. The Lord wants us to love each other all the same. So if we just stay focused on the laws and statutes and commandments of God, you can't go wrong. And then you don't get all turned around on all this men versus women stuff. That's just a bunch of nonsense. And that's honestly something that Satan uses to just divide us. It's all about keeping the word of God and getting into the kingdom. That's what it's all about. Because when we get into the kingdom, you ain't gonna have to worry about being male or female.
Right, exactly. All that all that's over with.
All that's gone.
You know what? I feel like, with that male whole, male, female, because that's been a big thing for quite some years. But I just feel like it's just a way to keep us divided. And we all know who's the author of that. Because
absolutely,
at the end of the day, while we sitting over here trying to figure out who dropped the ball, he over here having a good time watching us do that. And the whole time, the mission is being missed, which is we supposed to be doing this. So, but that's just my take on it. It don't really matter who dropped the ball because it's already dropped. So here we are.
It does not matter.
It's not going to change.
Brother Ronnie, you right about that. The woman being the weaker vessel, and that's why the male is supposed to be her covering. He's supposed to be her strength. He's supposed to protect her. So when we do our jobs and we stay in our lanes and we do what we're supposed to do, then the Lord's will is done. It's when we decide to swerve off and do something different. And now you all worried about this and worried about that. So men, you stay out here, you be the protector, you be the covering, you be the head, and let the women be the rib and let them be protected. We won't have no issues.
That sounds so sweet how you saying that. Good and well, these women be swole up and I just got to doing a video on there and thousands of people on there. They are putting their husbands out. They are not letting him do what he want to do. He has the skirt on, it seems like, in that house sometimes.
Wow. But you know what I said, Ron.
He got
go ahead. Go ahead, Chris. Yeah, that's right. I agree with you.
Stay in your lane. You do your job, do what you're supposed to do. She does her job, does what she's supposed to do. See, that's a whole nother topic though.
I know, because we gotta get off. We gotta get off here.
If the script changes, hey, if she had to wear the pants, and hey.
See that? Listen at that mess, Miss Margaret talking.
We gotta get out of here.
Ain't no she gotta wear the pants. Let him be a man, and he gotta put his foot down the way he's supposed to.
But if his being a man that paid,
we gotta get out of here. That's that time.
We're gonna have to table this, y'all. We're gonna have to come back with relationship.
Next time, yeah, we could talk about this one.
That's right. And I'm gonna bring some crew with me with y'all because I'm tired of this.
Here we go.
Let's get into the back right quick.
All right, we'll get in the back. All right, Malachi, close us out.
Did you want